honorable members of Parliament, Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, Your Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Ghana, and special guest of honor for this occasion, Your Excellencies, Presidents, Heads of Government and Development Agencies, Your Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and former Presidents, Your Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters. I wish you a good morning, and we give thanks to the Almighty God on this occasion. Our Father who art in heaven, we thank you for giving us this day, a day that offers me, your humble servant, a unique opportunity to work to reset our dear country, Ghana. 32 years ago, on January 7th, Ghana made its first and most successful democratic transition, a reset, with the swearing in of the newly democratically elected President, Jerry John Rawlings of blessed memory. Our nation was returned to a multi-party democracy with a new constitution that went into effect, and the Fourth Republic was officially established. I refer to it as a reset because on that day in 1993, we made our fourth attempt at establishing a democratic system of government with term limits based on free, fair, and transparent elections. The handover of power on January 7, 2001, between former President Jerry John Rawlings and at the time the newly elected President John Agyekum Kufuor, tested that reset, and our nation passed with flying colors. So today, with my induction as the new President of the Republic of Ghana, history is being made once again. And it is a history worth repeating every 4 years with each newly elected president. Today, we're also making a different kind of history, one that speaks to our maturity as a democracy, a nation of citizens enfranchised with the authority at the polls to determine their political future. Today's exercise between the outgoing President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and I feels a bit like a deja vu. That is because 8 years ago to this day, on January 7, 2017, we shared this same space and performed this same transitional exercise. At the time, I was the outgoing president, having served one term, and he was the incoming president, having been given a mandate by the people of Ghana to lead this great nation of us. He and I both understood on that day, as I'm sure we are today, that it is the people of Ghana that we are elected to serve. Somehow, it seems fitting that it is with Nana Akufo-Addo that I twice shared this stage and this unique historical distinction, because Nana Akufo-Addo and I began our national political careers in Parliament in the same year, 1996. He has always greeted me with warmth, a firm handshake, and a smile. And he is perhaps the only person in my life who has persistently chosen to call me Johnny. While we belong to opposing political parties, we shared a sense of mutual respect. In those early days, we probably could not have imagined that destiny would bring us to the leadership of our respective parties, and that we would have to face off 3 separate times as we each vied for the highest office of the land. Nana asked this to be our final meeting under these circumstances, And as I look back on the journey we have traveled together, two much younger men who entered Parliament together with a full head of black hair, and you with the same bald head and round eyeglasses, I have to say that you have, without exception, been a worthy opponent. I extend my warmest wishes to His Excellency, the former Vice President, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. It was a grueling campaign, and we gave it our all. Your sportsmanship in making an early concession eased tensions and contributed to the early conclusion of the electoral contest. I wish you all the best in your endeavors. My brothers and sisters, the world in which Ghana exists today, as I begin this presidency, is not the same world in which we have lived under other presidencies. There are tensions and conflicts that have not previously existed between nations. These tensions and conflicts place pressure on alliances to decide where we will support. There's a seismic shift happening within the system of global economic dominance. Whereas the G7 nations, United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, and Japan once provided the highest percentage of the world's GDP, over the last decade, that number has been steadily dropping. However, the combined total of the GDP of the BRIC nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, UAE, their GDP has been consistently increasing. In 2023, for instance, the G7's combined total of world GDP was 30%. But by 2029, that number is predicted to drop to 27%. In 2023, the BRICS percentage of world GDP was 37.3%. And so what does this mean to us in Ghana? What could it mean to our economy? Where do we fit in this geopolitical maelstrom? Technology such as artificial intelligence has taken us to new heights, opening up the potential for national, financial, and personal security issues that we are not yet able to imagine. One example is the use of misinformation and algorithm manipulations on social media platforms to sway a particular group's sentiments towards or away from something. Now more than ever before, we need to strengthen our ties with our neighbors to ensure that we're working together to keep our sub-region safe. We stand in solidarity and work in alliance with all our neighbors in the sub-region. Recognizing the history of our borders, we also acknowledge that on the other side of our country's borders are our family members. They may be Ivorians, they may be Togolese, they may be Burkinabes, they may be Nigerians or Malians, but they are also Akans, they are Kasinas, they are Gwans, they are Ewes, they are Nzemes, they are Hauses, they are Moshis and Gurmes, because we are all part of one another, one big family. With the increase of the climate crisis, and as the waters grow warmer, melting the Arctic ice and permafrost, there's a greater likelihood for viruses that have been frozen and thought to be extinct for decades, perhaps even centuries, to begin to spread and create another global pandemic. The changing climate conditions, increased population density in urban areas, and mass international travel are enabling existing viruses to spread and mutate at a faster and faster rate than they did before. This is a serious challenge. Let us not forget the toll that the past epidemics of viruses like Ebola, COVID, and Mpox have taken on the families and communities and medical infrastructure in several of our neighboring countries and in the sub-region. Let us also not forget how swiftly and completely the COVID pandemic brought the entire world to a screeching halt. My government will be working diligently to strengthen our public health systems while monitoring the global health situation so that when, and not if, but when the next pandemic or epidemic occurs, the loss of lives in Ghana will be minimal. The larger world exists around us and to some extent within us. While we cannot and should never use it as an excuse to stray from the direct and immediate needs of Ghana for the well-being of our citizens, we must also bear in mind that the affairs of the world, if we care to shape, lessen, avoid, or even at the other end of things, maximize the effect they have on us. My brothers and sisters, barely a month ago, we held historic elections that have caused dramatic shifts in our political landscape. I feel greatly honored that you, my compatriots, considered me worthy of receiving such an unprecedented and overwhelming mandate to steer the affairs of our beloved nation at this critical time in our history. The magnitude of this victory in the presidential elections and the gains that were made by my party, the National Democratic Congress, in the parliamentary elections naturally and justifiably resulted in great joy and celebration across our country, Ghana. But celebrations, no matter how justified and how well earned, must be supplanted by discernment, sobriety, and deeper insights into why we received this kind of mandate in the first place. By voting as you did on December 7th, the Ghanaian people conveyed a powerful message, yet often overlooked by us politicians. This message was powerfully emphasized by a giant of American political history, President Ronald Reagan, when he declared at his inauguration some 40 years ago that governments have no power except that granted by the people. While Ghanaians take great pride in our thriving democracy, they are deeply dissatisfied with the quality of governance over the years and have openly voiced that dissatisfaction through the decisive actions that they undertake at the elections. Our people also understand that democracy is not just a token adorned with periodic elections followed by pomp and pageantry with the establishment of a new government. They expect that if democracy is celebrated as a superior means of governance, then its outcomes must be more tangible and benefit them in their individual lives. Any honest introspection and reflection on the pulse of our nation would reveal that many within our population do not feel that they have benefited from or partaking in this democratic dividend. Where people buffeted by severe economic crisis and hardships, and in the last few years, we have lurched from crisis to crisis. But there is hope on the horizon. Today should mark the beginning of a new opportunity, an opportunity for us to make a difference in our governance and our economic management. We shall reset our dear nation, Ghana. You have my sincerest thanks for honoring me. My firm, immutable assurance is that your vote will matter in the work that I'll do to make a difference in the destiny of this dear nation of ours. Your courage to bring change will not go in vain. Our nation was born with much promise. That promise would seem hazy and in doubt now because of all that has happened in the past. But I urge you, my fellow countrymen, not to be sucked into a state of perpetual pessimism. For some time, our country has urgently needed leadership with an unwavering desire to get things done. I, with all humility, assent that I intend to be that leader with your cooperation and your help. As your next leader, I shall strive to exercise sound judgment and be able to make the right calls at the right time. I will have the humility and presence of mind to take responsibility for any challenges and be willing to act firmly and timelessly to resolve the challenges that we face as a nation. Since the elections, I have read and heard the word hope used many times in relation to my presidency and what it should offer the citizens of Ghana. I intend to speak plainly and clearly to you today, and every time I address you subsequently, I intend to always tell you the truth. The circumstances we find ourselves in are indeed dire, but even so, I'll be decisive and swift in my actions. We'll focus our initial efforts on 4 critical areas. The first is economic restoration and stabilization of the macroeconomic environment. The second is the improvement of the business and investment environment to ensure that Ghana is once again open for business. The third is governance and constitutional reforms. And the final, but not the least, is accountability and the fight against corruption. My brothers and sisters, actions have always spoken louder than words. With that in mind, I have entered into a covenant with you, the good people of Ghana, in which I have enumerated 26 actions that I'll take within my first 120 days. There is reason for hope, and there is every reason for hope. But we must also have faith, because faith empowers us to trust the things that will happen. With faith, you believe what you know, and that is why we need faith to be able to achieve our reset. We need a reset with the faith we have in our country and our leadership. We need a reset with the faith we have in our institutions. We need a reset with our faith in our dear nation, Ghana. And by that, I mean in all of us, because all of us are Ghana. You are Ghana, and I am Ghana. All of you seated here today, Ghanaian citizens, you are Ghana. The people who you are with or near you as you watch this on television, in your homes, or listen on radio, or follow on social media are what we call Ghana. I ask that we enter into the covenant with the Ghana we all love and the good people of our country who make up this dear nation. And I ask that you envision a Ghana that you want to live in, a Ghana that you want to leave behind to your children and your grandchildren. What can you do to help build that better Ghana that we all strive for? What behaviors, what attitudes and mindsets can we reset? We need a reset, and we have faith in Ghana's ability to overcome, excel, and be so successful with this reset that it will be difficult to imagine a time when that was not the case. As we stand at this momentous crossroads in our nation's history, I am honored and humbled to accept the mantle of the President of the Republic of Ghana. Today we celebrate a new administration and herald an unprecedented era of opportunity and transformation. With Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman by my side, we are poised to embark on a journey of progress and inclusivity, united in our vision for a more prosperous Ghana. This day is particularly special for us and for every Ghanaian who dreams of a society where barriers are shattered and ambitions are realized. With the inauguration of Ghana's first female vice president, we have turned a significant page in our history. Nana Jane's ascension to the high office is not merely a personal triumph. It symbolizes our collective commitment to fostering a nation where gender equality and female representation are cherished and amplified. This is a powerful testament to the power of diverse voices to shape the future, voices that have the courage to soar beyond our traditional confines. My brothers and sisters, together as we look to the horizon, we reaffirm our dedication to breaking the glass ceiling that has long hindered many from reaching their full potential. Governance that reflects all segments of our population strengthens our democracy and enriches our conversation. We stand committed to enacting policies that empower women and ensure that the door of opportunity is opened wide for our youth and our women, regardless of their background. Together, we will galvanize our efforts to create a society where every Ghanaian can dream, believe, and achieve without any restraints. Remember that great leadership is not defined merely by the offices we occupy, but by the legacy that we leave for future generations. My administration, along with my Vice President, Nana Opukwa-Jiman, will prioritize inclusivity, accountability, and innovation, forging pathways that will lead to the upliftment of all of our citizens. I'm profoundly grateful for this moment, a cornerstone in our journey towards a brighter future for Ghana. In this resounding victory, I see a clarion call, particularly from the youth of Ghana, a generation that is brimming with potential and dreams that are waiting to be realized. This moment is a powerful affirmation that your voices matter, that your aspirations are valid, and that your future must be our priority. We're committed to translating your hopes into action and creating opportunities for education, entrepreneurship, employment, and empowerment. Our policies will be tailored to sustain innovation and foster industry that engages today's young minds and equip them with the skills needed for tomorrow's challenges. Together with the private sector and captains of business, we will create decent and well-paying jobs. As we embark on this new chapter, I assure you that our decisions will champion diversity in all facets of governance, ensuring that every Ghanaian, regardless of your ethnicity, your gender, your age, your religion, or any background, will have the opportunity to contribute to our nation's story. Ghana's youth represent the heartbeat of our democracy. Their ambition will drive our policies as we strive to create an inclusive, equitable society where everyone has a seat at the table. Our vision hinges on the introduction and implementation of a 24-hour economy. We envisage an innovative and vibrant 24-hour Ghanaian economy, which will also be anchored in agriculture and agribusiness. This innovative approach will unlock potentials that have long remained dormant, enabling us to harness the energy and creativity of all our people. Just imagine a Ghana where our markets are alive and bustling at all hours of the day, with responsive public services accessible at all times, such that businesses can operate flexibly to meet the diverse demands that they are subjected to. And young people, including entrepreneurs, can find opportunities regardless of traditional institutions. The 24-hour economy model will also bolster job creation for the young people, stimulate local industry, and attract foreign investments, and allow us to build resilient communities and a sustainable future. This vision extends beyond mere economic transactions. It symbolizes empowerment, the empowerment of every Ghanaian to contribute to our national progress. My fellow citizens, this vision will allow us to embrace diversity, to cater to varied lifestyles and preferences, and foster a culture of inclusion, ensure that every citizen can enjoy the fruits of his hard work. To the business leaders and entrepreneurs, I invite you to support this new model and join me in shaping a business environment where creativity thrives and where the fruits of your investments contribute to the collective welfare of our nation. Your role in driving our economy forward cannot be overstated. Your innovation and dedication will be a backbone of our success story. And I pledge to you that we would look at the tax regime and rationalize them so that they are more transparent and fair. Members of the business community, I assure you, Ghana is open for business again. Let me thank you, Your Excellencies, my fellow presidents, for leaving what is a busy schedule behind and coming to join us at this ceremony. Your presence brings honor to this inaugural ceremony. And I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to all of you and to our sister countries who have traveled from near and far to be with us today. Your presence is a testament to the strong bonds of friendship and cooperation that exist between our nations. And I promise you I will work to foster the partnerships that transcends our borders, and I'll work collectively with you towards regional stability, economic growth, and mutual respect between our nations. To my friends from across Africa and the world, I thank you and welcome you to Ghana. And in our local parlance, I say Akwaba to all of you. To my family and fellow citizens, my wife Lodina, I thank you for your unwavering support and commitment to our shared vision. This journey is not mine alone. It belongs to all of us. It belongs to each of you. Let today be the dawn of a new era of hope, an era of job creation, an era of accountability, an era of institutional strengthening and resilience, and an era of unparalleled potential for all Ghanaians. We will write the next chapter in Ghana's story, and it will be one of promise, transparency, and transformative progress. My fellow citizens, this is a patriotic call to action for all of us to participate in building a nation that lives up to its promise, where hope thrives and dreams become a reality. Together, let us cultivate a brighter future for our beloved Ghana, where unity, progress, and equality are not just ideals we aspire to, but are the very fabric of our nation. In closing, I invite you to partner with us on this journey. Together, we can create a brighter future for our beloved Ghana, where unity, progress, and equality are not simply goals we are aiming for, but are the cornerstone of our society. Let's work hand in hand to foster these values and strengthen our nation for everyone. My fellow citizens, our invited guests, I thank you very much. May God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. I thank you.